What's up, everybody? How's it going? It's Thursday, and I have a special guest today. Okay, it is Thursday with a guest. Now, my guest today, his name is Pincus, and we just call him Pincus. So, if you see him on the street, just say, "Hey, Pincus," and he'll respond. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But, so, my buddy Pincus, he's a Brazilian Jiu Jitsu black belt. He's a former MMA fighter, and he's a good buddy. Now, if you want to follow him on Instagram, go to @Pincus.Aaron. So Pincus.Aaron. Aaron. Yeah, you heard that right. So please welcome Pincus to the show. I'll see you later. Bye bye. Hey everybody, welcome. This is my good buddy and my jiu-jitsu coach, Pincus. We call him Pincus. That's all you need to call him by. And welcome to the show, my man. How you doing?
Thank you so much for having me out to your beautiful house.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Meeting the family. So I'm sure your listeners are wondering, Hal's address is 20 out here.
Let's keep that out because this is a small town, dude.
Yeah, good call. So it's like, dude, this is a very beautiful setup, man. Like,
thanks, dude. I appreciate it.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. So, how long you been in St. George, dude?
So off and on over 20 years.
20 years, off and on. Okay.
So yeah, I've moved away. It keeps pulling me back in. So it's like my mom's side of the family. She grew up in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather had a doctorate in botany.
Yeah.
So he taught at UNLV. So when they retired, they moved to St. George. But I was actually born in Vegas, jumping all around. But when I was 2 years old, I moved to Philadelphia.
Okay. So let's start there. So you were born in Vegas, and then you moved to Philly. Well, they moved you to Philly because you weren't away or anything.
My dad's side of the family.
Okay.
But my dad was born there. He's my second favorite person who went to Lower Merion High School.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Who's the first?
Kobe Bryant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
For all that. So.
Okay. So you grew up in Philly. How up until how old were you?
Up until I was 10 was the first time we moved to St. George.
Okay.
So I was in 5th grade.
Make sure you keep the mic close to your mouth that way.
Kind of eat it. There you go.
Yeah,
so it's 5th grade is when we moved out here the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I went to elementary school, middle school, and high school in
Okay.
St. George and good old Snow Canyon.
Okay, so you kind of grew up here in a way.
Yeah, I would definitely. This has been home.
Okay.
Obviously, so it's been good times. Like
Yeah.
It's like I move away and then I come back. Like,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've been to Northern California, Southern California, and Las Vegas.
Okay. So do you remember? Did you have good times in Philly?
Oh yes, love it.
Yeah.
Don't like the weather and everything, but
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
no, I still have friends, and what's cool with social media is like
Like
I
you
got a
can-
bunch of friends that I still keep in touch with.
Yeah.
One of them's doing stand-up comedy.
Really?
Now in Miami. Like,
Okay.
He went to New York City. So Kersey Asari, what's up, buddy? So
Yeah. Shout out to Kersey. All right,
Good man.
Oh, nice. So up until 10, right? Like, what was your like school experience over there?
Sports
Sports?
was everything.
Yeah?
Like, baseball and soccer.
Soccer,
were my
really?
big ones.
Soccer, okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Left wing. So I was like,
Left
yeah.
wing, really? Okay.
Yeah, we did. And what was crazy is we had travel teams.
Mm-hmm.
Like we'd have our regular city leagues, and then we'd have travel teams. And the big thing that my mom got us to move out here was the weather's so nice. You can play baseball year round.
Yeah.
They don't play it.
They don't play it year
They're
round,
not
dude.
into it.
Like, there's a few baseball diamonds close to our place, and sometimes there's a dog park near the area too.
Yeah.
And it's like nobody's there, and then suddenly, like for like 3 months, everybody's there all the time. It's ridiculous. But
Yeah.
so you played out. Was there a sport you preferred most?
Baseball.
Baseball.
That was my thing. I was a pitcher and a first baseman.
Pitcher. Okay.
So as a lefty, you got limited options.
Yeah.
So it's like would have been cool to be a catcher or something, but no, I pitched all the way through high school.
Okay.
So it was a good high school experience. Like good Snow Canyon. We were really good our senior year.
Yeah.
So it was good times. Soccer was probably my best sport,
Mm-hmm.
but I just I don't know. I never met anybody who really was into it. That's what it felt like it was like a seasonal thing.
I don't know why, but over here in the U.S., like kids are really big into soccer for some reason, and then they just stop.
Right.
So
and I totally see that all the time, and it's like you think as a parent, I'd want my kid doing soccer.
Yeah.
One, because like there's not a lot of equipment to buy.
Yeah,
like,
it's a great workout, right? Like you're running
run 'em
all
out.
day, yeah. And there's not that much impact, right? So
right, unless they're like headbutting a million things, but that's just some kids.
That's just they're gonna do that whether or not they play soccer,
absolutely.
right? So you left wing, you said. So
Yeah.
Were you like a creative left wing, or were you like a striker mostly?
More striker.
Yeah.
Like kind of Like,
Okay.
we were pretty good, but again, that was like when I was 10, 11 years old. So we had an awesome coach, Coach Don. He was like college player and just like wanted to teach kids. Like he didn't have any kids there.
Yeah.
So it was like when I got out of high school, I coached 1 year of soccer, and it was freaking awesome. Yeah, those kids were awesome. Unfortunately, the league was so unorganized, they never got it back.
Really?
Yeah, so it was pretty messed up.
That's interesting, dude.
So, yeah, I felt like Billy Bob and Bad News Bears.
Oh, man,
which one's your kid? I'm like, I'm 19. Like,
dude.
It's like the 10-year-old.
That's fine.
Just, right there.
Just pretend, buddy. So, what did you ever think that you wanted to be like an athlete other than MMA?
MMA, all that stuff was nothing to me. I had no idea, no knowledge, like wasn't on my radar, no thoughts of it. That's a whole long story of how I got introduced to it.
Yeah.
Because that's when I was 19. So like I was out of high school.
Okay.
And, like, so the whole story was I met like all good stories. I met a girl.
Yeah.
So she was been doing it her whole life. She's from Brazil, so met her. She said like she could choke me out, and I was like, oh, cool, play fighting, like, wrestling, like she's real pretty, awesome.
Yeah.
But then my elbow started hurting, and then like the lights started going out. I was like what the heck is this? like I've heard of UFC, I mean that was like before my time. Everybody knew Hoist Gracie.
Hoist Gracie, yeah.
That's
like he's like the legend, right?
Right. So I mean that's like where everybody knew him back in the day. Where it's like that whole cool story about Hoist is that like his brother Hickson was the family champ, and like he was the one where it was like if anybody beats Hoist, then you get Hickson.
Yeah.
But they were like Hickson's too intimidating looking. They just think he beat him up because he's all ripped and big. So like we're gonna send little Hoist in.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, that's funny, right? Like, we'll just send our weakest one, and he's gonna kick ass, and that's what he did.
He 100%. That's badass. Yeah.
Oh man, that's great. So, you're 19. Where did you meet this girl?
So, I was living with somebody, and we were kind of having a fight. So, as a very mature 19-year-old, I decided I was going to go to Cafe Rio and buy a salad just for me. I didn't get her one. So when I was there, I ran into some people I kind of knew. And they were like, hey, we're having a party over at our house at the student housing. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll go over there instead of going home and getting yelled at. So it's just like...
Was this already in Brazil?
No. This was here in St. George.
Okay.
This was here in St. George. She... was down here on spring break. She attended college up north where she went, she graduated and finished law school up there. I met her and we were talking for a couple hours, and then we watched the movie Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
Okay.
It's a legendary martial arts movie.
Yeah.
So it was like she was laughing at all the good jokes, so I was like, I liked her immediately. And like I was already planning on moving out with somebody else, and we just kept in touch. Drove up to Salt Lake a couple times for her, and then she is from Rio de Janeiro down in Brazil, so she was just like, hey, what are you doing next week? Like, she lives that type of life. I was like,
all right.
I was like, laundry? I don't know. So pack it up. So that was the first time we went down there, and it just felt like home. Like
Okay.
that's where I want to end up. Like
Yeah.
I love it down there, and people are so nice, and it's just everything.
Yeah, dude.
The ocean. It's everything.
I've never been, but I've always wanted to go. And I had an ex that she moved there. It's a long story.
Yeah.
We don't need to go
No,
into it.
yeah.
But I learned Portuguese because I wanted to go out there, and so I became like enthralled with like the Brazilian culture and stuff like that. And what's funny is like when I heard Charlie Brown Jr. on your iPhone, I'm like,
nobody. Yeah, I was like, how do you know that? like you just were right on it, and it wasn't even like one of their like main.
Yeah, I know, dude. It was because like the way I started to learn was I just listened to them all the time just to like see what they were saying.
Yeah.
So I learned all of their songs.
Nice.
And then that's how I got into that, right? So.
Yeah, they're like a Brazilian Sublime.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
I love them.
They're pretty good, man. Yeah. So you're out in Brazil. So were you planning on like staying out there when you go there, or are you just like?
It was a vacation, and that was the first time she took me to her gym, which was a big deal. It's turned into a Brazilian top team.
Okay.
So the first professor or one I ever learned from was Murilo Bustamante.
Okay.
Unfortunately, people don't know his name enough. Like he was a UFC middleweight champ.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and like fought in Pride. Like when they had the big tournaments, like he made it to the finals.
Oh wow. Okay.
I was like, I mean,
so he was like
savage.
a legit
Yeah,
dude. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So the gym, it was a Carlson Gracie gym. Unfortunately, I never got to meet him. He'd already moved to Chicago, but. When Robert Drysdale was down here, I kind of we were talking, and I was like, Carlos. He's like, nobody ever said anything bad about Carlson.
Yeah,
it's like maybe his ex-wife, but no, he's an awesome guy, and dude, it's speaking of awesome guys, Robert Drysdale. Holy
he's
cow,
pretty cool.
Yeah, dude, legendary, and like like, I'm like, dude,
he's a legitimate nice guy.
I'd be like, yeah, any room you walk into, you're the baddest dude.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's funny, like. When he came over to the gym, I'm like just standing talking to some dudes, and someone taps me on my shoulder. I'm like, I look back and it's him. I'm like, he's like, hey, how's it going? What's your name? I'm like, oh, that's really cool.
Right?
Like, he's like just introducing it to himself as if he's like the new guy in the class or something like that.
Right? Oh, dude, I love it. Ricky Lindell's the same way.
Yeah,
shakes everybody's hand. Like, yeah. And I was like, you guys are like legends.
Legends, right?
I mean, like. Drysdale's won everything, like, and beaten some of the biggest names ever. Like, holy cow! So it's super cool. That's a big thing of why I'm been a lifer for. I'm 38 now. We can edit that out, right? On my Tinder profile, it also says I'm 6'5". So yeah, so it's
6'5", 28.
28. Yeah, just. This is a choice, the white hairs. Yeah. So we go right there.
So you're out in Brazil, and you go to Bustamante. Is that, am I saying it?
So I say like the Brazilian top team.
Okay.
BTT, or like, it's had a couple other names. but right in Rio, amazing. It's crazy the conditions. Like we are so spoiled and lucky over at Fusion MMA out by Costco.
Yeah, dude. If you're in St. George or like the southern Utah area, Fusion MMA and Jiu Jitsu, great gym.
So we have so much space.
Yeah, dude.
We have a full cage.
Dude, every time I see that mat, I'm like, man, I'm so grateful to have this huge mat. Like every gym I see, it's like a little piece of shit like this.
Used to have 4 computer cubicles, and it's just
it's so small. I'm like, dude. And even then, it still gets full, and then sometimes you just bump into people rolling around.
Yeah, and we get like the new guys who like want to start standing. I was like, easy, like, tone it down a notch. We know you're the best. We got
it's funny, dude, and it's funny to see like when they start wrestling like that, they go hard, man, and it's like they're just. Okay, you're taking up the whole mat. All right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just existing in this spot. Yeah, I swear. Yeah, it's funny. The thing that really pulled me into jiu-jitsu and MMA, like MMA, I never even thought of myself as a fighter. Like I still don't like to fight. Like, like it's not cool.
Yeah.
And explains why I'm also a bouncer at a bar on the weekends. It's like, what am I doing with myself?
Yeah.
So it's just they always pushing yourself, setting goals, and like physical, like the physical aspect of it. But where it is like you're on your own, but you have a team behind you. Like, and a lot of these guys, they're freaking family. Like, still, like, even guys who haven't been in like 10 years, you know. And it was, I mean, dude, it was so cool. I actually watched the video last night of when I got my black belt. Yeah. Like, you were there. Yeah. But, like, those two other guys, like, whatever they need, like Gordy, Dustin, Jared, like, we call us the 4 horsemen of Fusion.
Yeah, because like, you're the only 4 black belts he has, right?
Yes, yeah, we're the only 4 that Ace has promoted. So, no, super awesome. But it's like you really do build a bond with people, and it's like, I jokingly say it, but it's so true. Like, dumb dickheads tend to like not stick around. Yeah, you know. So yeah, it's like you get those guys like go to the gym, pick stuff up, and put it down. Like that's like,
they're like, okay, you're there for like a couple days, and that's it.
But yeah, I mean, dude, here I am sitting on this couch. Like, somebody's like, oh, how's a comedian? He's like, comedy. I'm like, he does laugh at my jokes. So he's good. So it's just like it's crazy. You get so many people from so many walks of life. Yeah, and like. You
never know who that person is, dude. It's ridiculous.
You'll have a very strict, devout Mormon with like a atheist neck tattoo, like biker, whatever. Yeah. And it's just like they're high-fiving and like,
and they're hugging each other all the time.
100%. And I think the other thing is that
keep going, dude.
It's like when you're grappling, that's all you're thinking about. Like I'm not thinking about like, why does my power bill go up so fast? Like, dude, did I mess up the thermostat or whatever, any bills or anything like that? Because if you are zoned out, where it's like we get so many times we get long distance runners come in and like I'm in good shape, like we do like 6.5 minute rounds. And they're dying. And it's like, because when you're jogging, you're just floating all over the other place.
Like, here is like complete and utter focus, because if not, you're gonna get choked out, right?
It's like, that guy's squeezing my jaw right now. Like, let me address this.
That's funny, man.
Be good.
So you're at Brazilian Top Team, and do you have the bug already, or what gave you the bug?
I was it just so terrified. I like growing up wrestling, like messing around and stuff. I always enjoyed it. So I was basically like tackling people and just like going in. But everybody, what drew me in literally was all the other teammates, like seeing how united they were. Because I did miss that, like after baseball and everything. It's like you miss your team.
Yeah, you miss the team aspect, right?
You hear like a lot of like pro athletes talk about like they miss the boys, they miss the team. So I felt that, and that's when I was like, very nice. Like, it was cool. I mean, they all loved her. So it was like, as soon as she walked in, they're like, "Nda hyena." And I was like, why are they calling you a hyena? She's like, I'll tell you later. I was like, oh, queen. Oh, because you are spoiled. No, gotcha. Precious princess right there. So, but she had a stripe on her black belt.
Okay.
So
she'd been doing it for a while.
Since she was 3.
Okay, yeah.
Well, so it was like, she was like, that was Vitor Belfort's original gym. Okay. Like under Carlson, and she was like, if we have a kid, we're naming it Vitor. I'm like, all right, don't throw it in my face. I mean, I get it.
The guy's a stud. All right.
Adonis. Yeah. So I was like, you're stuck with this. Sorry, I got you. Like, yeah, better luck next time. So it's like we started going, and ignorance is bliss. Yeah. You're just like, I had no idea, and they were like, hey, do you want to have a match? I was like, a match? Like, okay, like, what do you mean? They're like, vale tudo. I was just like, don't know what that is. Yeah, so I was like, okay. And they're like, it's at the gymnasium. And then I'm like, so I think like gymnasium, like like a high school little thing. No, it was like a 15,000
like an
arena. Yeah. I was like, our translation is very lost. Like, we are thinking way different things. So it was like when we got there, no weigh-ins. They asked me how much I weighed. And
what?
Yeah. Dude,
hey, how much do you weigh, dude?
You're like, deuce and a half. Right, he wrote down deuce. No,
man.
No, I've been to venues where they put a bathroom scale like on the carpet, and it's like an old wrestling trick, like those bathroom scales, like, you know, with the needle that goes up and down. It's you lean a certain way, you can like take 10
the whole
pounds
thing, dude.
off. So, like, wait for it, there it is, get it, mark it down, and then fall over. Like, oh, it's the old days where so saw the guy I was fighting.
So
I remember him being taller.
You didn't know anything, and they put you in a Vale Tudo thing?
I felt like I could throw a hard punch. I didn't know what I was doing punch-wise, dude. Like, all my striking comes from Aaron Reese. Like,
okay.
But and that was after, like, 4 fights. So it was, she's like, he can't wrestle. Just take him down and hit him. I was like, okay. So it was just, round started. I was super nervous. Like, what am I doing here? Like, this is not, like, why am I here? Like, the second that bell rang, you get this weird locked-in tunnel vision. And it's just, like, there's things I remember, things I don't. That guy could walk up these stairs right now, and I wouldn't recognize him.
Really?
Like, I was so nervous. I was just staring at his chest.
Okay.
It was just, like, I can see his arms and his hips. Like, I can kind of see what's coming. So I'm like, I couldn't remember that guy's face for anything. So it's just, like... I got the takedown. He threw a wild punch, and I just tackled him. Like, I didn't have a technical shot or anything like that. So it was just took him down, fell in crossbody, and back then we were allowed to knee in the head.
Oh,
so
really?
Hooked the far side of the head, couple knees, and
he
was just like,
he probably
please
won't
stop.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like, and he went on to be Donald Trump. So I was like, I don't know who's gonna come up with. So it's like that ended, and holy cow, that sense of relief and then overwhelming like excitement.
Yeah,
you know, like we've had a couple guys like on their fights like win, and then they got up and screamed so loud they almost passed out. Because a lot of it too is like, thank God that's over. It's just like it's the highest high and the lowest low. Because my one loss was here in St. George, Utah, in front of my parents.
Oh man, that's the worst. Like, oh, dude, how many fights did you have?
I've only had 6.
6?
Yeah.
So you were undefeated for 5, and then your parents come and watch you. You're like,
that was their fault. Yeah.
Did they like that you were fighting?
So my dad, interestingly enough, this last year, he started to understand and get into MMA, but no knowledge. I mean, my mom's like, she had no idea what I was doing. She was like the one, like after my fight, you know, like looking at my face and like checking me. And I was like, that's the other thing. My one loss, I had 0 marks or any scratch.
Yeah,
like,
you didn't have anything to show for it.
My wins, I've broken my sternum, my orbital bone, my hands, like... It's just like, I'm like, you should see the other guy. Imagine a guy with bruised fists. So it's like, my one loss was I got submitted in the second round.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, I did dislocate my shoulder at the end of the first.
Oh.
Sloppy technique, man. Like, he went up for an elevator sweep, and I just stuck my arm out like a dum-dum.
Oh.
But, yeah, things happen.
Yeah.
I was tired. I didn't train hard for that fight. I was 5-0, baby. Yeah.
I'm winning, boy.
Yeah.
That's
warm up the car. We're leaving.
So you go in a Vale Tudo fight, and you won?
Yes.
Okay, so you won that fight, and you didn't have any jiu-jitsu anything, right? And after that, you're
just literally the 3 weeks there.
Okay.
But, man, that was intense. And that was like 3 days.
Okay, so like you were going, okay, you probably had a blue belt. I don't know.
I mean, they gave me my purple, like after my second, and I was just like, any belt promotion you always feel so undeserved, but that one was not deserved. Yeah. it was literally because of my fight, you know, and like.
Okay.
I accidentally kneed a black belt in the head when I was going for a far side Kimura.
Yeah.
Stepping over for an armbar.
Yeah.
And I accidentally kneed him in the head pretty hard. So he kind of went limp, so I got the
Oh,
armbar.
shit.
And then it was like, oh, you got him. I was like,
oh, he's unconscious.
When he wakes up, don't tell him. So I was like,
oh, man. That's
I'll never forget that. That was such an accident. It's like.
Dude, it's so funny. Like when I remember when I still get this way because I'm a white belt still, right? So, but I remember when I first started, you keep getting hit in the face a lot by other white belts, and it sucks, dude. It's like, dude, I didn't sign up for the striking class.
Yeah, we got headgear, like not even. But that's the old joke is, white belts are the most dangerous because you don't know what they're gonna do, and they don't know what they're gonna do. Yeah. So yeah, we get some people a little spazzy with those elbows and knees. Carter, hi, Carter. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, Carter?
He's so much better. I love that guy. I wish he'd come back. Like he's dude, gone for a little bit.
He just left for a while, so well, it'll be. I think he'll come back, but anyway.
Oh, if he's in town, yeah.
Yeah. So you're doing this, and then how long were you in Brazil for?
So the longest I've spent was 6 weeks.
So you never like officially lived there?
No, I mean her mom lives there. So they have a beautiful place to stay. So it was like we'd go stay there. Yeah. So longest I've been was 6 weeks, but I've gone I think 11 times. Yeah.
Okay, so you were hanging out there for a while.
I love it. Yeah, we've gone to Argentina, Colombia. We spent 3 weeks there. Spain, London, and the Netherlands. Like,
was this all training too?
Competing, yeah, training and stuff. Well, yeah, she hooked me up, so it was just like, hey, do you want to go to Spain?
Yeah,
like,
no,
like, yeah, like, okay, yeah. Like, my bag's always packed by the door for no reason. I was like, thank you. Yeah, like Spain, South Carolina. That's not a place. Like, what are we like, we're gonna make a city. So they're like, it's all from when I was like 19 to 23. So it's like off and on. I tried to go to school here. I went to Dixie State because I was like, I'm dating somebody graduated from college. And I'm like,
I better step it up.
Yeah, well, I heard the remarks from her mom. Just point at my face and say, why? She talking about me? Yeah, so it was like, no, I was bouncing around, and then like went to Vegas for a year, trained at Extreme Couture with that's when Sean Tompkins was there, Mike Pyle. So it's like, it's a small world where you meet like amazing world-class athletes. And it's like dude, I just watched you like main event a UFC on pay-per-view, and like now you want to like, I get to roll with you, like grapple,
That's
know.
Awesome,
it's like cool stuff.
Was Randy Couture ever training
I've
there?
only seen him. I met him once.
Yeah.
So he was like in and out. It's like doing the Expendables or something like that. So I was like,
okay.
So no, I only met him once, but that's another thing that's super cool about our gym is the owner like teaches the classes. He's there. Yeah. I mean, it's like, now we have Paul Karski that just came in to help out. Paul is so freaking awesome. But it's like Ace and I are the
you're
only
the main teachers,
so
right?
it's like, it's pretty cool. So it's, again, we're super spoiled.
Yeah.
Because a lot of gyms you'll go to, they're like, hey, this is my high blue or my purple belt. He's going to run class.
Yeah.
See you later. Make sure to sign your check. You're all like, everybody paid their dues. Right?
Yeah, dude. And Ace is there all the time unless like some circumstances, right? But
that's life. Like things happen. So
like it's amazing. Like I always enjoy that aspect of it because it's like, oh, dude, he's still in it, right? Like he's not like this guy. Cool. Like I don't care about this anymore. Like no, he loves this thing.
Yeah, man. Dude, I love that guy so much. I've been with him like over 15 years now, man. So it's like, that guy's my brother. Like he's in my wedding. Like if that ever happens. Knows. Anybody know Kate Takers? Kate Beckinsale. We sit up straight for hi. Go right through. So it's like, no, that guy is one of the most selfless, awesome people. Like there's a lot of stories I could tell you of like him going out of his way to help people and like be there for him. And, like he's one of those few guys, where I'm like, if I had an issue, I know, like, I have a friend. Like, he's awesome. And the big thing about his teaching is if he knows something, he will tell you. Like, he's like, and he'll say, like, this is what I like to do. A lot of guys don't do that. They always want to be up here while you're down there. So it's like, it's so cool. And, like, tried not to have any egos there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like me, my mouth doesn't stop running. Like, just dumb stuff to entertain myself. So I always like it when somebody else laughs.
I always find it interesting because like you're making jokes and like people find them funny, obviously. But I'm like, sometimes your references are like so obscure, and I'm like, oh, dude, I like this guy. Like I remember the first month, like you're always making like weird movie references, and I'm like, oh, dude, and people aren't getting that. I'm like, oh, dude, why aren't this is gold?
You're not familiar with all of Mike Judge's work? Like, yeah, it's like a big thing was when I went to college, I was working at Walmart distribution and just in a shipping department loading trailers. So we were allowed to listen to headphones.
Okay.
So that's how I would listen to Portuguese tapes. So I'd be like sitting there talking to myself like, "Bom dia, Maria, como vai?"
Yeah,
It's just like, oh, just keep walking away from me. It's like nobody's right there. So it was like, and then I'd listen to stand-up comedy.
Oh, nice.
A lot of like 1 hour specials. I can listen to 2 1-hour specials, and then it's break time.
Yeah.
So that's when I like
So
really
you're just laughing and doing your work, and then it's like, oh.
just having fun, man. Trying to.
That's all it is, right? If you have fun, you're gonna enjoy anything, no matter what, right?
Yeah, I was like, trust me, I got enough things that make me miserable.
Yeah.
So it's like, wow, have a good time. I try, man.
Yeah. How old were you when you first like actually like were introduced to stand up?
So as a little kid, my dad loved George Carlin. So like, yeah, class clown, all that good stuff. So yeah, it's like the 7 words you can't say. So it's like I would listen to it, but I would say like I really, really started liking stand-up comedy when I was like 20, 21, when I started back to school, where I was like Mitch Hedberg, Patton Oswalt, obviously Dave Chappelle. But like in middle school when Chris Rock came out, like Bring the Pain, it was just like,
dude, he's still one of my favorites. He's so good.
It's amazing. Yeah. Tambourine, wasn't that his last special?
Yeah, I saw that live. Not the actual taping,
right.
but I saw that like that material live. Dude, it was great.
Was that one directed by Bo Burnham?
I don't know, man.
I love that guy. Like, he's so cool.
I'm not very familiar with Bo Burnham though. Like I've seen part of his special, and I saw like he was doing the music thing, whatever.
Yeah, some of the I'm with you.
So like, I'm not saying that is like he's just not my flavor.
Sure.
Because have you seen the movie? I forgot which one it was, but like where he was like like a comedian with what's his name, Kumail Nanjiani. I think that's the movie. He's playing this like comedian. I think he's playing himself, right? And his jokes are so good, like fucking fire. And I'm like, dude, why don't you do this also? Like, I get it. You want to do your musical thing, but also do this. Like, this is amazing.
Yeah, dude. Like his even like his late show appearances, like late night and stuff, where he's not doing the music stuff.
Yeah.
Brilliant, because like he totally has his own style, which I love. You know, like he'll mess with audio and like all these things, so it's just like cutouts and drops and things like that.
I appreciate him having his own thing, right? Because like I get that, like I'm like I want to do my own thing, so like that's something I completely understand. Yeah. But it's something I'm like, it's not my cup of tea in some ways. But
yeah, or it's like 90%. You would know that like 90% of comedians were Dave Attell at one time.
Yeah.
You say, whoa, hey, whoa.
Yeah,
like the cadence and the rhythm.
It's crazy. Like, it's funny because in the beginning, I still sound like Seinfeld for some reason. I haven't been able to get rid of that for some reason. That's just how I sound, I guess. I don't know. But like in the beginning, like I don't know if like you haven't like actually done stand up, right?
Never. Dude, that honestly like that does like terrify me.
Yeah.
Even though like I'll teach 60, 70 people, you know, like right there, and I'm just zoned out, whatever. But like the thought, and I think it's like the prep, the build up is what gets me. And honestly, like I relate that to the fight because it's so weird. Like again, like I don't think fighting is cool. Like I look at it like a competition, but it's very weird to be like, hey, in 3 months on a Saturday at 7 p.m. like at this time, we're going to take our shirts off and fight. Like that's just a weird. Yeah, it's weird, right? I'm gonna. What's that? Like Hannibal does the whole thing. It's like I'm gonna spend the next 3 months training real hard. It's like we simulating moves like you. So it's interesting. So It's like that mental, like you get in your own way kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's 100%, which is also one of the reasons why I want to try it to get over that.
Yeah, dude, I think you'd be great at it because I mean you're getting the laughs constantly in class. It's very different, but at the same time it's the same, right? So I'd love to see what you actually come up with because like your sense of humor is very twisted, and that's the kind of stuff I like a lot.
Can we talk about the premise I thought about?
Yeah, of course.
So,
don't steal his jokes, everybody.
Yeah, I got more to it. No, it's like I'm not a white supremacist.
Mm-hmm.
Probably because I haven't met a handsome, good-looking white supremacist. So it's like that type of thing. But it's like, dude, if like Ryan Reynolds called me brother, that would warm my heart. Like, I was like, let's hang out, bro. So it's like something like that, kind of messed up.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, dude. I remember one time we were like in class and we were just talking, and then you just gave me like some weird twisted premise. I'm like, oh, dude, that would actually be great.
Dark.
Yeah,
that sounds about right.
But yeah, dude, I think you'd be great at it. Especially, it's look, I still get nervous, right? Like,
yeah, but
I had a show like this past Friday.
Yeah.
The set was all right. And the only reason was because I was nervous. So, like, I still get nervous. Like, sometimes the nerves take me high, and sometimes the nerves make me forget stuff. And this was that case, right? So,
how many minutes did you do?
I think I did 12.
12?
I was supposed to do 10, but I did 12. I was the host, so I guess I can
blew the light, huh?
Yeah, I blew my own light, so.
He who holds it.
Yeah. So I let that slip in some ways, but dude, there's other times where it just like takes my energy to a whole new level, and like I'm like, oh my god, I didn't even know I was capable of that, right? So it's
that's gotta be a good feeling.
Yeah, dude, it's a great
that's right,
feeling. It's amazing. Like I like.
And that's called heroin.
Dude, I've never done heroin. I've never done heroin, but I've got a feeling it's very similar to that kind of stuff. Dude, like you get I'm sure you felt the same way when you were done fighting. Like you get this adrenaline rush that just doesn't go away, and you can't sleep, and you're like so excited about shit.
Like that wave, like adrenaline, and then there's and then like once it's over, you're like, it's over. It's not gonna happen again. Like, it's okay. And then you sign up for it again. Let's ride that wave.
Yeah, dude, that's funny.
But how did you get started into stand-up?
So, dude,
I'm sorry if you've gone over this a million times.
It's fine. Like if you've heard it before, fast forward, whatever.
Right.
So I like stand-up. Like my first introduction to stand-up was Seinfeld the show, like, cause it never like occurred to me like to do that, and actually to me like it's not like the weakest part of the show, but it's amusing, but the show in and of itself is just so good that the stand-up parts were like, oh, this is
was
fun.
Like an afterthought, huh?
Yeah.
Because someone's like, he does stand-up every show. I'm like, he does.
Yeah. The only I think it's like the only season he doesn't do that was like the 9th and maybe the 8th. Like when Larry David left, then he had to like take all his roles.
Yeah.
So, but like his stand up it was always very amusing to me, right? But it was like never like, oh, I'm gonna do the stand up. No. So, but I always had a thing for comedy. Like when I was this story I have told ad nauseum, so I'm gonna skip over it real quick. So when I was 12, I did Hamlet, and I played King Claudius, and I wanted to be Hamlet, and for some reason when they gave me Claudius, I'm like, fuck this, dude. I'm like I'm not gonna care. So I just like was myself, just goofing around, and like people laughed at what I was doing. And if you know Hamlet, that's not what's supposed to happen.
It's hilarious.
but dude, people were laughing at everything I was doing. I'm like, oh, what is this feeling over here? Like I felt something in my belly. I'm like, I gotta do this for the rest of my life. But I actually didn't do it up until like I was 12 when that happened. And when I first like actually thought about doing it for real, it was like I was 23 or 24. So like a few years passed after. So I grew up in Costa Rica. I think we've
done a little bit.
Like, so
I always pegged you instantly. As like, that guy from Costa Rica. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what everybody says about me. So, I I grew up there, right? And then I'm like, oh, I actually gotta do something about this, right? So
Nice.
I like make up a plan, whatever, and then I moved to LA when I'm 25. So, but I moved to I like moved to do acting, and I'm in this acting school. But my focus was always like I want to like be a comedic actor, and
Nice.
the problem with acting and then improv and all of those is that you always need someone to do it with you, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Improv by yourself.
Yeah. So like you can
They're
do
called
improv by
mimes,
yourself,
yeah. Awful.
but it's really hard, right? So
Sure.
eventually, like people were like, "Dude, you should do stand up." I'm like, "Really?" Like it never occurred to me
Yeah.
to actually do it. But like Seinfeld was always like the show is my favorite show of all time. Like that's my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So I'm like,
I don't know
okay,
about-
let's do it, right? So, where I met my wife, we were at this retreat, like yoga retreat, and like one night we were doing like everybody's got to do something they're scared of, and I was always scared of like performing in front of people, and I didn't have any material, so like I went up there with nothing, and you were supposed to be there for like 5 minutes, and 2.5 of those were really good, and then the rest just like tapered off.
like
And
crowd work.
yeah. So, but when I did that, I'm like, oh, I think I'm gonna do this. So, like, I signed up to this public speaking course. I did
Nice.
that. The thing about public speaking courses is like they don't teach you like to do stand up. Like you just gotta
Sure.
fill in like a
That's-
bunch of time.
What I did at Dixie State was communications. So
Okay.
It was like, yeah. all
So
that.
okay, so you were like, do they have you do a lot of public speaking courses in that
We did, yeah, and then we'd have to do like a pervasive speech.
pervasive
informative-
sweep?
Sweep the leg. So you know, our teacher was 80s. He went down quick. He was like, snapped him like a toothpick. So it was like persuasive speech, informative, like that type of thing. And
Yeah.
like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So it was like one. I did a speech that was about gun control. Like I was given that topic.
Yeah.
So I ended up showing a 6-minute clip from the very first movie Jackass where
Yeah.
Knoxville gets shot with the beanbag. I'm like, there's alternatives. A+.
A+.
Yeah, nailed it. So I was like, no, they say that. I think that's like people's biggest fear.
Yeah,
Right?
like it's bigger than
Over
death.
dying.
Like
Yeah.
it's higher than death, dude. That's crazy, right? Like,
Yeah.
but if you actually get over the hurdle, like it's not that hard. Like once you like realize, oh, I have something to fall back on, and then you get up there, and then sometimes it goes better than others, right? But
Sure.
like if you get the consistency. Like back in LA, dude, it was I had the ability to be more consistent, so it was like
Sure.
like shows become like second nature because like you're doing it all the time. Here we're building a scene, so it's
Right.
a little harder.
And still, that's just 3 days a week. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's just
Yeah,
yeah. where
three-
a lot of those guys like New York and LA, they're like
multiple
multiple
times a day, dude.
every-
And dude, you can't like I can't explain to you how beneficial it is to do so many sets in one day.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like, how could it not be like getting those reps in and just
Yeah.
like, and then you start like, what you really are you very meticulous about like your speech pattern or like your words? Whereas like we say like Seinfeld like
Mhm,
records
like,
them,
yeah.
and he will change like the to a like
And
that
that-
type
yeah.
of. That's
So it works for him, right?
Right.
But it's not my thing. I need a little more freedom to be able to keep it fresh for myself. If I'm doing that every
Sure.
day, it gets
That-
really tiring.
That's what I wonder. Where it's like guys like Jay Leno or Bobby Lee. Well,
Mhm.
I know Bobby Lee hasn't put a special out, but like Leno's been touring with like the same act.
Yeah.
I'm like, is that fun? I mean,
Yeah.
it probably would still feel good to get the laughs, and then it's like,
Yeah,
Do you
dude,
like-
it's I don't know. I can only relate my experience because like when I was doing that,
Sure.
I was getting sick of it real quick. Like I actually stopped doing stand up for a bit, like for a year or so, because of it. I'm like I'm getting tired of this, and because I discovered I got into improv. And I'm like, oh, dude, this is so much better. Like you're saying new things all the time, so like it's always a mystery. So I did them both like together for like 6 months, and then after a while I'm like, man, maybe I should take a break from stand-up, which was one of my biggest mistakes. But at the same time I was still doing comedy, and I did learn a bunch of stuff like from improv that directly translated to stand-up. So
Nice.
I don't know if I would have learned those by myself in stand-up. I mean, probably if I would have kept going, right? But
right on.
that helped me a lot, and by the time when I came back to stand-up, like I had like a bunch of different tools that I didn't have before, because before I just
Nice.
didn't have anything, honestly. So it was interesting, but it did like it's the first time I did stand up. I was 26. To answer your question.
Yeah. So, yeah. And time. Right. Nailed it. No, it's like, I guess that's like the thing that I always thought was crazy with musicians.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the old story of somebody was watching Tony Bennett rehearse. He's like doing a sound check.
Mm-hmm.
And as he goes, he just goes, thank you, because he knows when the applause breaks are coming.
Yeah,
And like,
yeah.
I'm like, he's even rehearsing his reaction.
Yeah.
And it's like, also like, I think everybody who knows me, I think they know two things about me. I'm a smart ass, and Shakira is my favorite person. I love her so much.
Yeah.
And what's funny is going to see her live, dude. You get the same show.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing. Like it's my favorite thing. But it's like even like her riffs, like or what she's saying to the crowd, or like the drum. It's just like it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like same time over and over. And I was like, dude, that's some focus.
Yeah.
That's some dedication, because she is in charge of like everything that happens around. So I was like, dude, it's so dumb to relate, where I'm like, why do I not drill my arm bars anymore? You know? Well, that's how my brain works. So I was like, she can do it, I can. No, totally different world. So,
but it's the same though, right? Like maybe it's not the same vehicle, but
I don't have 20,000 people cheering me on in my warm-ups. Like, look at that pivot. Look at that pivot.
But it's the same, like, practice makes perfect thing, right?
Right.
So,
and then like you find a comfort in that, or it's like we drill so much in jiu-jitsu to make it like a reaction.
yeah.
Because if you have to have that time of like, okay, I grab his wrist, my foot goes, it's gone.
But yeah, by the time, not only that, but by the time you're thinking about that, they already got you in something else, right? So
yeah, the good ones, yeah.
yeah. Well, you're a much higher level than I am. So
Oh no, yeah. We're playing chess, man. Like it's cool. That's always what really sucked me in, when I started to chain things together.
Yeah.
And I started like setting things up. That's like, ooh, this can be creative. This can be fun.
Yeah.
So again, that goes back to like the meathead dum-dums don't really last long.
Yeah.
They're like, just squeeze.
Squeeze, bro. I'm gonna break your neck.
Right? How much you bench? How much you bench? Like, am I planking across you? Is that what we're like, go step.
So, Shakira, huh?
Oh boy. Should we go back to Donde Estás Lorones?
Dude, I love Shakira. Like, I actually grew up listening to her because, like, in Costa Rica.
Sure.
She's like one of those big, celebrities over there. So,
dude, I think she's probably the most famous person in the world because of like Spanish and English.
yeah, because
And
she
she's
does
done
both,
Portuguese,
right?
like, yeah,
She
she
does.
speaks
She's
Italian.
done Portuguese too.
Yeah, they've had like her albums down there.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's like she'll do tours all over everywhere.
Really?
Everybody knows her, so
Wow,
It's
dude,
like-
that's crazy. I mean, that's why she's so big, huh?
it's awesome. So it's like but what I wanted to ask you was, what got you into jiu-jitsu?
Oh, dude, so I listen to a lot of Joe Rogan and a lot of Jocko Willink, and
Good.
they they talk
Good.
about jiu-jitsu so much. I'm like, dude, they talk about this like it's life.
Let's talk about DMT.
Yeah.
So-
So I'm like, oh, I'll give it a try and see if I like it. Dude, I did one. I got choked out. I'm like, this is amazing.
Is that right? Well, and that's the difference of like I can relate to like my first like legit blood choke,
Mhm.
because everybody thinks choking is like
Yeah, like
the windpipe,
yeah.
like the air.
Yeah.
It's like that's like I always joke is like my my Steven Seagal lesson is it's like go like this to your throat. I'm like, look over there. There
Yeah.
you go. You escaped.
Yeah.
Turn your head. Good job. $5. We got you right there. So it's like when you feel that pressure, you're like,
Yeah.
what is this?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So that did it. I'm like, oh, I got to do this now. And I'm a big like repetition guy. Like I need to do it all the time because that's the
Awesome.
only way I get better.
Yeah.
I guess everybody, right? But like some people like actually like think through the process and like if like Radley, dude, he does twice a week and he
Yeah.
is so precise. But like he's like going over moves in his mind and things like that.
Yeah,
And
very analytical. Like
Yeah,
he's-
I can't do that. So I mean, I could if I wanted to, but I'm like, that defeats the purpose for me. So
yeah. And we're sometimes and I freaking love Radley too, and it's like, dude, how many awesome people we got at our gym?
yeah,
I
dude,
love it.
it's awesome.
So it's like like Radley will talk like after a round. I'm like, I could feel you hesitate, like you were overthinking it.
Yeah.
So sometimes it works both ways.
Yeah.
So yeah, the guys who like your mind is clear.
Yeah.
You're blind. You don't got anything going on. Right there. Empty eyes.
Yeah.
So it's like they're just like, yeah, and then you get the guys who like break it down. Dude, I'll be honest, like I've had probably hundreds of drives home with the radio off, just questioning what I'm doing. Like, if I know what I'm doing, you're just like, a quiet drive. Like, why did you give up your back so easy? Why did you do that? Oh, you could have done this. But and again, that's another fun thing. I'm always like, I love like when Matt Arrington comes in. He's freaking Dolph Lundgren these days. He's a massive guy.
Yeah.
And he's really good at a Darce choke. And I'm just trying to like figure out, probably won't ever happen, but like if there's a way I can like wiggle to create space or do something, I'm like 0 for like 40 on that. So it's like, I'll try.
Dude, he's so big, man. He's like, I've never rolled with him, but he's like what, 6'5" or something like that.
About that, yeah. Now
and
he's like,
but he's not like just lanky. He's like fucking jacked, dude.
Yeah, he's like I said, it's like goddamn Drago coming at me. Yeah. He dies.
Yeah, dude, so I'm like, I look at him, I'm like, ooh, dude, he's huge. He's gonna kick my ass.
Yeah.
I'm gonna save him. I'm gonna save him for later.
Oh, my hamstring is starting to tighten up. We're gonna go roll this out over there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's no, Matt's high brown belt, like he knows what he's doing too. So that's what I like to do with like, and even do that with Radley. Yeah. Where it's like I can't do that, unfortunately, with white belts. Yeah. Because one of our first black belt that Ace gave to was Gordon Bell, and he used to teach. Yeah. So like when I was training, like on the fighter side, Gordon was teaching the beginner side. So now I'm doing the beginner side. And Gordy's hopefully losing weight. Gordon, is that what you're doing today? Love that guy. So it's like what were you saying? Oh, Gordy would say, he's like, dude, when you get a new person, you have to smash them. I was like, that's ridiculous, dude. He was so right. Yeah. Because we've had a couple guys where I'm just like, all right, dude, you want to roll? Like, yeah, that's good. Move to the side, do this, do that. And then they're like, literally, I'll hear them get up. I'm like, dude, he couldn't even catch me. I was like, what is the point? Like, I'm not here to. We've grappled quite a bit. Yeah. And, like, I remember one time I was like, I'm going for submissions, Hal.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And you went for them.
And I got him.
But it was like, I don't get why you would think that that you're not letting him do that, you know? Like, it's like,
well, and that's just they don't have an understanding, you know, especially if they're bigger.
Yeah.
You know, like that wouldn't work on me. I'm like, you're right, dude. You're the one.
Yeah,
right?
you're the special dude.
I'm gonna call you Neo. We in a simulation. Oh man, so it's like, it's very interesting. Again, like you're meeting so many different people from so many different walks of life that some people are just like in their head they think they're the baddest dude ever and like they won't be back, like they're, because like we got some guys that I was like, hey, why don't you partner up with him? Like I don't want to hurt him. Like, you'll be okay.
Oh, you'll be fine,
we'll
buddy.
be fine.
You'll be
5
fine.
seconds later they're running across and Alex is holding their leg, like, twisting them up. So it's like, or it's like when we had Maggie who moved away. It was like,
dude, she kicked my ass so many times.
She loved every second of it. It's up, Mags.
Dude,
I'm the man of honor at her wedding.
Yeah?
Yeah. So,
how did you wear a dress?
I don't want to outshine her. So, so it's her day. So I'm there for support. So that's coming up next year. Okay. But like we're gonna like her whole side, we're gonna have like our jiu-jitsu belts and our suits.
Nice,
So,
nice.
Probably not during the wedding. Like
Maybe that's not appropriate.
Maybe we're not that big a dick. So yeah, we're just like, sup? Yeah. Well, that's the worst thing too. Is like I don't really tell people about jiu-jitsu or fighting, and with my personality, when people find out, they're like, what? Yeah. I'm like, I am this way because I get that out. Yeah. Over there, like, to me, it is like, dude,
it's
huge
therapy.
1,000%.
It's
1,000%.
Yeah.
So I'd either be talking on a couch or you know, not like this, but like, dude, oh my goodness. So I try and get people, and we've had people who've had like some serious drug problems and like anger issues. Yeah, work it out like through the gym and like have something to look forward to. Yeah. So I always like will say like to the new guys or like the younger kids, I'm like, hey, not a lot of positive things to do on a weeknight in St. George.
Yeah.
Like, get into the gym.
Get
like,
in here, yeah.
Yeah, come and you'll be too tired to go do dumb stuff. So,
Dude, to me, I've done a lot of things. There's no workout like jiu-jitsu. Like,
especially with that gi on too.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. Put this sauna suit on. And fight for your life. Yeah. Yeah.
fight for your life in the desert.
Yeah. Or like, cause dude, I mean, I'm sure this has already happened to you when you tell people you do jujitsu and like, oh, Aaron's got to go to his karate thing. I was like, shut up.
It's not the same.
Like, what do you do? Tai Chi? like, push the ball. Like,
This is my energy.
Yeah, I was like it's a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah,
So
just a lot,
it's like,
just a tad.
It's like I train UFC. Like, just start saying that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we're working on foot stomps tonight. Underappreciated skill of the dreaded foot stomp.
Yeah, dude, whenever I see that, I'm like, how are you taking, like, they don't move their leg. I'm like, why are you taking that? Why? Like, you're going to break your foot.
It's happened to one of our guys, yeah. But, I mean, a lot of it is adrenaline.
Yeah, so you don't feel it?
Yeah, I mean, you see a lot of, like, UFC, like, MMA fights, like, after, the guy can barely walk out.
Yeah.
So the game's like, ooh,
Yeah.
leg kicks are very effective.
Yeah, dude, they're
they
very
hurt.
effective. I could see how that would happen, dude, because, like when I'm rolling, it's not the same, obviously. It's like a million levels, like, lower in terms of, like, the totem pole, right? But I felt like, oh, I'm fine rolling, and then suddenly I get home, like, oh, wait, this hurts. This
hurt.
other thing hurts. Oh, shit, okay.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. So, I don't know if you, like, the whole gym's heard me say this way too many times, but, like, I work at a bar on the weekends as a bouncer.
Mm-hmm.
Again, according to my grinder and 6'5". Wait, what? No, edit. No,
What happened?
No.
What happened?
So a bouncer at a bar, and I got attacked by a guy. Like, we were closing up, leaving, and I guess he was mad at somebody else. Like, he was coming there to look for trouble.
Yeah.
But he tried to walk out. He was walking out with his pint glass. Like, we got those thick, nice pint glasses full of beer. And I was like, oh, hey, man, like, can't have you leave that here. And his friends were with him, and his sister, who I know very well. She's a really good boxer. That was in my head once this all started. He's like, I'm not leaving. I was like, well, you're going out the door, dude. That's leaving. Like, can't have you do that. And his sister grabs the beer out of his hand, and I'm just like, we have a table right there next to the door for that reason. Yeah. So he just acted a little weird, and I was just like trying to, like, de-escalate. I'm like, dude, it's okay. I promise I will watch it. Yeah. And, like, he just grabs it and just throws it in my face and hit me in my lip with the pint glass.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, and I was like, I've never had a drink thrown in my face.
Yeah.
Not a fan. Like, don't recommend it. Like, I never knew how angry that would make me because it was beer, too.
Yeah. So it's
like,
sticky and gross.
Yeah, and it was like a IPA.
Oh, so it's even
hoppy.
worse.
Yeah, it's even worse. Have the decency to hit me with a White Claw.
Like, that's water, okay?
Man up. Yeah. So when he did that, I was like, dude, why did you do that? Now you got to go.
Yeah.
And when I reached for the pint glass, he, like, put it behind his back, and I swung around. And because that's when I was thinking, like, this guy might know how to box because his sister does.
Yeah.
So I was like, smother. He tried to take the pint glass and hit me in the head with it, and that's when I was like, we're done here.
Yeah.
So I body locked him, and we went through the front door, and I was just holding him down. I didn't throw a punch. I didn't want to hurt him or anything. So we were acting like he wasn't going to go anywhere. I mean, he was a big guy. Taller, bigger than me. He probably had like 40, 50 pounds on me.
Yeah.
But jiu-jitsu is super effective. Wrestling is very effective. And I'm literally thinking, I'm like, backpack grip. Like, like this is what we teach the kids. Like, all this stuff. And like,
the clock goes over this way.
So, we go through. Yeah, gable grip. Yeah. So it's like, his sister's right there. She's like, this is my friend. What are you doing? Knock it off, knock it off. And we're like, okay, I'm done. So I was like, I let you go. We're like, we're good, okay?
Yeah.
You're just gonna leave? He's like, yeah. The second he stood up, I mean, he could have like called like Zach Morris timeout.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit. Like, I just saw the look in his eyes, and he made like this grunt sound, and he kneed me right in my groin.
Oof, dude.
Like, almost took me over the rail. I overhooked him, and we went back down.
Yeah.
And that's where we like stayed down until the cop showed up.
Yeah.
which was my favorite part of that story is the first 2 cops to show up.
Yeah.
One was a black belt from our gym. The other was a purple belt from our gym. So it was that you talk about like that wave of like, it's over. I was like, hi, boys. So good to see you.
Yeah.
But we were talking about like the injuries and stuff. He kneed me and punched me in my groin too. I didn't feel that for like 2 hours.
Oh, wow,
I had a
really?
little scratch on my elbow. I'm like, I'm fine, nothing. But then I was like, ow. Like, why?
Wait a minute, what's going on here?
Yeah, and like, dude, he bruised me pretty bad. Like, I had to go to the emergency room and specialists and all that stuff, which is like always great to drop your pants in front of strangers. I was like, that's why you guys go to my OnlyFans. And until September, I guess they're getting rid of it.
Right.
It's like
The only reason this site makes money is because of that. And
I didn't know it did anything else.
It did, me neither. So, you shoot yourself in the foot, whatever.
So who or how many new apps are going to come out that are just like,
they're just gonna be that,
somebody's
right?
going to do it.
Yeah,
I mean,
of course. I mean, they're giving away their
not all
their
heroes
own.
wear capes. They're smut peddlers.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So, dude, I was gonna say, like, it's weird, like, taking your pants down, and even if it's a doctor, right? Like,
Yes.
Dude, I have this story. Like, I had like some sort of issue with my balls, and I don't know, whatever. Like, something was going down there. Like,
Yeah.
I went to the doctor, but I hesitated for like a month.
Sure.
Just,
Yeah, you knew
just
what was
because I'm like, I don't want her to think that this is like a freebie hand job or something like that.
Yeah, for the first time.
So I'm like,
please don't laugh. Please don't laugh. Can I get like a nice.
So I'm like, I get you completely, dude. Like,
Yeah, it's like the person who's been the nicest and kindest to my genitals is a 40-year-old named Brian. Yeah, like it was funny because like there was a female doctor and female nurse that first came in, and I was just like, they look and like, oh yeah, I got you pretty good, and then like the male doctor and male nurse came in, and I was just like, I feel like this is too many. Like, and then the second, like, they just lift up my camera. He's like, oh, I'm like, thank you. It is, yeah, see? My man, you understand.
You know what we're
doing.
dealing with. Okay.
I was just like, I got bruised bad, so it was just like we doing the ultrasounds and all that stuff's great. Yeah.
What's funny is I know exactly what you mean. I've been through that too. So
well, and me, dude, I'm just making jokes to make myself like, less uncomfortable. I'm like, where's the third one? Like, it's like, what? And I was like, never mind.
never mind. That's for me.
Yeah. That was check.
Dude, how long were you like incapacitated with?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Oof.
Yeah. Ice pack and then heat. Fun times.
Man, that sucks, dude. What's funny is
I
like,
watched all Quentin Tarantino movies.
Oh, nice.
Like
dude.
we were talking a little earlier about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, just back to back.
Dude, that I it's funny. I wanted to do that too. Like, I haven't done it yet, so.
Right.
But if you have like something like you couldn't even move, right? Like you could barely walk.
Slowly. Yeah. I mean, that just,
You were limping pretty much, right?
yeah, like hunched over and all that stuff. Yeah. So it was like, yeah. And what do? I teach Jiu Jitsu.
Yeah, it's like one of the most
or I
physical
bounce
jobs.
and I'm like, I can't move my body. That
Yeah.
makes me effective. So, yeah, and it was like one of those things where it was like laying down, I'm okay, but like walking or sitting was horrible.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, drive out here. I'm like, I ain't going nowhere. It was like friggin' DoorDash and like $40 for a chicken sandwich. Great. Yeah. What a great
man.
deal. Yeah.
That's funny.
It's like back. Yeah, I quarantined myself.
You re-quarantined yourself
Right.
by yourself. Okay.
Yes.
So, dude, you are doing this other job, but like we skip through a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I do that.
So you're in Brazil. You like went around the
wait a
world pretty much, and were you like MMA fighting, or was that just jiu-jitsu?
It was fights. It was competition. I wasn't making money.
Yeah, it was
I mean,
all
I was just
amateur,
like,
right?
It was literally a vacation.
Yeah.
Where it was like one time we went down to Brazil when I broke my sternum, which I don't recommend. I didn't know what a sternum was until I cracked it right down the center. We were supposed to leave like 2 days later, and it was like I can't fly. I
Yeah.
can't do it. Yeah. And it's one of those injuries where it's like laughing hurts so bad,
Yeah.
coughing, sneezing. So all of a sudden it's like I have allergies. Everything's hilarious.
Mhm.
Painkillers probably had a big part of that.
Yeah.
So I was like, that was awful time. So we were kind of stuck there for another 2 weeks.
Okay.
So I'm like a very slow Wolverine. 2 weeks, I'm back. I'm back at it.
Yeah.
So
That's funny, man. So, how long was like your fighting career?
career. Yeah, I was like, well, so like my last fight was 2010,
Mm-hmm.
and like I hadn't fought for 5-6 years before that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
so you
I
took
got
a
my
big break.
first. I got 4 in real quick,
Mm.
like within a year. You know, it was like, I don't even think like. And what was weird too was that was before I met Ace.
Mm-hmm.
And none of my friends knew what I was doing. I tried to explain to him, like
Yeah.
you're not a fighter, dude.
Yeah.
I know I'm not, but like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm doing this and I'm having a lot of fun. And it was just
Yeah.
like, where were you last week? I'm like, dude, I told you I'm going. Like,
Yeah.
one trip when I came back from Brazil, we flew in from LAX,
Mm-hmm.
and like when I was so I was 21.
Mm-hmm.
In the LAX, their little terminal
Yeah.
for St. George, like
Yeah.
there's like 2 guys I went to high school with coming back on their missions.
Oh, really? Okay.
So they were like, oh, we were up in Oregon or wherever they were. And I was just like,
Mhm.
yeah, just coming back
Just-
from Brazil. Like, I think that was when I had my black eye healed, but like
Mhm.
I broke my orbital bone.
Oh, okay.
So that's cool too. So
Yeah.
yeah,
How
so
does
like my eye was like a little.
how does one heal that? Just time?
Yeah,
Ooh.
I mean, it was when I say make it sound like I shattered my face. It was
Mhm.
just a very small
Like a
fracture where
hairline?
I would liken it to a like somebody like digging their thumb right
Mhm.
there. I felt a little bit of pressure right there.
Okay.
Anything bad, and then surgeries, putting plates and all that stuff. in,
Okay.
which is nice to have your face. Right?
Yeah, all full of metal.
Yeah, it'd be good. Headbutting people left and right. Yeah. Like a '90s wrestler. Like he has a
Yeah.
titanium elbow right there. Face smasher. So no, that I don't even see that injury. I don't even know when that happened.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like
Wow.
adrenaline and it's all
Yeah.
a blur.
Yeah.
Nervous, and then you'll see somebody in the crowd, and I'm like, well, that's a pretty lady, or like you'll have like weird random thoughts,
Yeah.
you know, or you're like that guy looks like he sucks. I don't
Yeah.
know him, but he looks like he sucks.
Immediately, I know he's a horrible person.
Oh yeah, back to fighting. Yeah, yeah. This guy trying to kick me in my face.
Yeah. So, you're in oh, dude.
I'm all over the place everywhere.
No, you're good, dude. This is very entertaining. So, did you ever fight professionally, or was
They
it
all ignorance, yeah, without knowledge or education. So it's like, yeah, I got paid. Well,
Okay.
that was like, I'm like, pay me money. Like, that's why I was like, all these guys at our gym are like amateur now,
Yeah.
and like, man, like Zane, Christian, like they're killing themselves
Yeah.
to make weight. I'm like, dude, we're doing this for free right now. Like,
Yeah.
I love those guys, man. I can't wait to see. They can go as far as they want.
Yeah, dude, they're
Like,
so good.
They got the skill set,
They're-
but they put in the work too,
Yeah.
man. I love to see that.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're tough dudes, man. Like I don't like hang around with Christian a lot, so I don't really know.
Well, and he's doing so awesome over at. He opened up his own gym.
Yeah.
On the other side of town.
Yeah.
On Sunset.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, he's killing it. But yeah, so he's not
Yes.
in as much.
Yeah, he's not in as much anymore. So, but I see Zane a lot, and like, dude, like that guy's like rolling, doing like his 1,000,000-pound squats every day.
yeah.
And-
Lifting himself out of his weight class.
And I'm like, dude, how do you do this? Like, you're like, and it's like he's rolling like 6 or 7 times a day or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, how? And then you're going this, and then you go to work, and it's like,
Yeah, works
where do you
full-time,
Where
yeah.
do you put like? How are you doing? He's like, I don't even know, my man.
I love him, dude. Anybody says anything bad about Zane
Dude,
just
he's
hates
awesome.
themselves. Like
Yeah.
he's such a pure,
Yeah,
sweet
they're both
dude.
awesome, dude. It's,
love
it's,
him.
it's crazy.
Yeah, I've known Christian since he was a little kid,
Yeah.
like 3 years
Yeah.
old. He was like at the fights. He was the little dude running around.
Yeah.
So it's so cool. Like, I mean, I've stayed the exact same age the whole time.
Mhm.
So it's like it's pretty cool. Like he was running around watching us fight.
Yeah.
So dude, I got to corner him for his he's had 2 fights now.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude. He's like, my dream was always to have like you and my dad in my corner.
Oh, that's
dude, it's so,
awesome,
dude,
man.
I love it. It's so family. Like I love those
that's
guys.
pretty cool, dude.
So-
What you know what's funny to me? Like they're both so mature, and I didn't know they were 21.
Right?
I'm like, what?
I was
What?
He's like 22. Yeah.
What?
I was like, yeah.
How in the world are you that young?
He's got dude, and that's what I said about Zane. It's like dude. I told him like a couple months ago. I'm like, dude, I'm proud of you. Like, just I'm like, dude, you're full time working.
Yeah.
He's getting.
Dude, they're
his own car, like
responsible, dude.
Yeah, and where we have others like at the gym who are like, I don't know, I'm making rent. My roommates, and they're just like, dude, it's time to like get going. Like, they're like mid-20s.
Yeah, man,
like,
it's like,
party's over, bro. Let's go. When I was like 19, 20. Yeah, that's. You know, it's like not having any money or anything like that. I don't like that. I don't want to be in that situation of like something happens. Is like, how am I going to pay next month's rent?
Yeah,
you know, it's
that's not a nice situation to be in, dude.
Oh, no. Stand-up comedy. Yeah. So it's like I'd say, who's your favorite stand-up comedian?
Oh, dude. So I'll give you 5 because it's hard to just say one. So I love Jerry Seinfeld. Like he's my first one, right? Not my first, like, cause my top, like that. Just the first one I came across, right? So then I got Dave Chappelle. Then we got Bill Burr. We got Chris Rock. And how many did I say already?
That's 4.
4. Okay. Where'd number 5 go? Why am I blanking? See, this is that.
I'm sure. Well, then I'll be like, well, what about Dave Attell?
Yeah.
What about
So
Patrice O'Neal? Like, if you like that Patrice.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, I love Patrice. Have you seen his documentary?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I've seen like half of it, so I need to finish it. But dude, that guy was so funny.
Him on the radio is my favorite thing, and that's where like right now I listen to. I do listen to Joe Rogan. I'm like, he is the male Oprah.
Yeah.
So God, me Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
so it's but I listen to The Bonfire with Big J. Okerson and Dan Soder.
Okay.
Like they're a radio show, but I mean it's like 2 hours of just them just talking, and they're so great riffing off each other. And then the other one is like a super vulgar name, because it's the most politically incorrect podcast. It's called Cumtown.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, like Nick Mullen. I think Nick Mullen is the funniest man in the world.
Yeah.
I love that guy. But it's like, and I just love the origin of that horrible name. They're like, you know what? We're never going to get canceled because you're listening to my podcast called that.
Yeah, if you're listening to this, you know this is not getting canceled.
Right? Yeah, they said an offensive thing on where?
Yeah. Cumtown? Okay. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Let's
of
leave
course,
it alone.
Yeah. It's a political podcast.
Yeah.
Very conservative. No, it's like, what's hilarious is that he booked a Super Bowl commercial, and then it was like a big Super Bowl commercial, and then they found out his podcast and took him out. So it's like that cost him like tens of thousands of dollars. But dude, they I think they're like one of the biggest Patreon podcasts, like $90,000 a month, kind of. Yeah,
they're doing all right.
Yeah, they're getting by. Yeah. It is New York, so that's like half a studio apartment. Yeah,
dude,
good.
You know, you're doing all right. Doing all right.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, dude. And then I want the last one I say is Joe Rogan, because like his specials from Triggered on, like they're really good.
I 100% agree. I wasn't like, it was funny. Like I really like Joe Rogan's podcast. But it's like I didn't like his stand up. I would have told you I didn't like it. Yeah. But his last couple, like his Netflix ones, I was like, all right, these are
Dude, and I've seen him live twice, and both times they were different. So one was when we were still living in LA, and it was at the Comedy Store. It was like maybe 5 months before the pandemic hit.
Oh wow!
And it was fantastic. Like,
how much time did he do?
He did like I want to say between 45 minutes and an hour.
Nice.
Like it was like a full set, full set, right? And like you can tell when someone's really good the moment they get on stage. Like they feel the energy in the room. I don't know have you been to many comedy shows?
Not enough. But I hear that same thing about like Sebastian Maniscalco.
Oh, dude, he's great.
Like he'll command the room and like his nuances.
Great. He is
everything.
Great, dude. Like,
I like that type of stuff too.
That guy's amazing too. So like when they come in, like this is what I noticed with Seinfeld too. Like I always thought his stand up was amusing. But it wasn't like ha laugh out loud, right?
Right.
I saw him live, and that completely changed my perspective. I'm like, this guy is fucking hilarious, like
nice,
super hilarious, and you can tell like the moment he gets into the room, there's like this wave of energy that just boom, just
Awesome,
covers the
that's
whole
cool.
room. It's super cool, dude. And you
What is that? Because like I've seen that like a couple times firsthand. You know,
Yeah.
who blew me away. Sorry to.
no go ahead, dude.
We were walking down a back hall corridor at Caesar's Palace.
Mhm.
I know people. No, I'm just kidding. And Cher walked by.
Oh, really?
And it blew me away. I never in a million years would have been like, Cher. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
But there was like a presence.
Yeah,
that I could feel.
like
and
you
we
knew
were
it, so-
literally walking down like an empty back hall, like
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there. It was just like. So when you say that with Seinfeld, that literally just like I could feel that right now.
Yeah,
I
dude,
was
it's
just like,
it's crazy when you feel that. I'm like, okay, there's something special about this person, something they're
how do you
doing,
get
whatever
that?
it is,
Yeah.
and they do. And Rogan has that too. Like the moment he gets on stage, dude, it was like,
Nice.
whoa. And I recently saw him in Vegas with Chappelle.
You did go to that?
Yeah, dude.
And I'm gonna go see his opener.
Yeah,
Tom Segura
yeah,
in January with Alex.
yeah, dude. That's gonna be a fun show. Like,
Oh, I can't wait.
he opened.
Yeah, that's
well,
his. Yeah, he
so-
opened for him.
So it was Donnell Rollins. Do you know who Donnell Rollins is?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, from the Chappelle show.
I,
Yeah, yeah.
I forget who I'm
I
talking
love, like,
to.
I love how Chappelle has him as his voicemail.
Yeah, dude.
I'm rich, man.
Oh man. Talib Kweli opened up like he did like 5 minutes of rap.
Yeah.
I didn't know who that he was before that. I just know Mos Def. I didn't know.
Yeah,
I didn't know they were
Black
like
Star,
like
no.
yeah. I didn't
Yeah,
know they
they're-
were Black
yeah.
Star. So
that's
um,
like growing up back east, like New York guys. But yeah, they're
yeah.
awesome.
So he opened up for like 5 minutes. They had a DJ on, like he like warmed up the crowd, and then Talib Kweli went out, and then Donnell did like I think 15 minutes, and after
I hear he's just a monster, dude.
dude,
Like, he
he's
just
so funny.
destroys
He
the
is so
room. Yeah.
funny. Yeah, and
Man,
he's
his
got
energy.
that energy. Like he's really good.
And then Segura comes out.
yeah, and
with
Segura comes out,
his
dude,
psychotic
and he
demeanor.
does
I
like
love
20
it.
to 30 minutes. It was great, man.
Was it? I can't wait.
And I'm like, man, because it was supposed to be a surprise, right? But Rogan announced it on the podcast. He's like, yeah, we haven't told anybody. And he's like, yeah,
I have the biggest platform in the
Yeah.
world. There's only like 25 million watching
yeah,
this.
you know. So I'm like, oh, okay, that'd be cool. And when I get there, I'm like excited because, and then
Yeah,
a
that's
buddy,
an amazing ticket.
yeah, dude, the best comedy show I've ever seen. Like, and it was like $100 or something like that. We had shitty seats, but you're
Shit.
still watching like world class, like
Yeah.
the top of the top, right? So
And that was like MGM, right?
Yeah, at the
Did they do the
MGM.
Grand Garden
yeah,
Arena?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly where it was, dude. So then Tom Segura comes out. He does 30 minutes, and then Joe comes out because he's my buddy. That's why I call him Joe, right?
Personal friend of the
Personal
show.
friend of the show. He comes out. I think he does an hour or so.
Nice.
And dude, none of the material that he did on the show we saw in L.A.
Yeah.
None of it. And I wonder if it's
I love
because
that, yeah.
the pandemic made it like obsolete or
We
whatever.
did 20 minutes on masks.
So that full hour, something I'd never heard before. I'm like, dude, and it was just like that. It was like, boom, boom, like he's a legitimate killer, like
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, how is Chappelle gonna follow this? and he fucking destroys, dude. It's like,
That
oh, dude.
that would be bucket list. Like that Chappelle, like I love that guy so much.
Yeah, dude. I've been wanting to see him for a long time, but when we were living in LA, the tickets were really expensive. I'm like,
Shit.
ooh, I don't know, man. And he had John Mayer with him, so I think that made it a little more expensive too. But I'm like, and then I made the mistake of not going to it, and I regretted it ever since. So I'm like, they had the Joe Rogan and Dave Chappelle show like in Washington,
Yeah.
like Washington State. I'm like, I gotta go to this. And by the time we were booking tickets, they were already gone. And it happened like that many times. Like they were in Salt Lake too, like a month after that.
Yeah.
And I was gonna do the same thing. What's funny is I was in Seattle like a week before that show happened. So I'm like, motherfucker.
Postpone. Yeah. I was like,
And then we moved to Utah a month after the Salt Lake show happens. So it's like I was just like trailing them around.
what is it called? The Spite Tour? Like they're just like wherever Hal is, we ain't.
We ain't, man. So we didn't get to see that one, and I'm like, no, I am getting to see these two together. The next time I'm wherever it is, and it turns out they did
right
it
there.
right in Vegas,
Love
dude.
it.
I'm like, oh, this is perfect. Like, so
Yeah.
yeah, dude,
Nice.
it was amazing. Like, if you ever get the chance to like take it.
Oh, it's on there. I mean, dude, I honestly, I haven't been to too many comedy shows. Brian Regan, I'm not sure if he still does, but he would come out to Tuacahn.
Yeah, I think he filmed his last special here. I think at Tuacahn.
That would make sense,
Yeah.
at night. So
Yeah.
I was like, that was kind of that venue, huh?
Yeah.
But it was like he did like half and half new stuff, half old stuff, and the crowd was like beating him to his punchlines, and it was annoying as hell.
Yeah.
You know, like the big yellow one's the sun. He's gonna say that. I'm like, God, yeah.
Stop ruining the show.
You too. Yeah, it's like, yeah. So I wonder, like, obviously, and then you add like going to a club or something, add alcohol.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
Imagine,
it's a different beast. Like, you add alcohol to the mix,
Yeah.
the crowd gets rowdy and they do weird shit,
Yeah.
and it's
And
really
sometimes it's not
interesting.
intentional, right? Like, hey,
Yeah.
can you stop talking?
Yeah,
Like,
they don't realize they're talking that loud, dude.
Right.
It's like, dude, it's a comedy show. It's not a music show, okay? Like, we
Yeah.
hear you.
You walked in here knowing you're gonna listen to me talk.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't like everybody
Yeah.
hang out. Like,
Yeah.
there's a stage and a microphone.
Yeah.
Like,
That's all there is.
yeah.
So, but it's really interesting, dude. So, as many opportunities as you can, dude, go see live comedy. It just doesn't compare to like
I know,
seeing it
it's-
on TV.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like I watch every special
Mm-hmm.
when something new comes out.
Yeah,
And then there's a ton of specials,
yeah,
people I've never heard of, and like sometimes it's like a awesome new thing, and then you're like, I'm gonna YouTube this person, or like,
Yeah.
you know, like you think like one thing can go viral.
yeah.
Like when I was 21 years old, I was involved in the Russian mafia.
Freaking Bert Kreischer, dude.
Blew up Bert. Dude, he just got back. They're making that a movie.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, he just filmed it, and I think he actually went to Russia, which is crazy, man.
Yeah, they let him in.
I don't know how that works, dude, but but I think
it.
that's where they were, dude. And dude, that guy is.
What a life.
Yeah, man. He lives like, and everything he does is like either material or some new show he's making. Did you?
Yeah, not with his shirt on. I love it. Dude.
Oh man. Did
Nobody's
you
gonna steal his material?
did you watch his like when the pandemic like first hit? He did something about the cabin.
In
or
the cabin?
Yeah. Did you watch that?
Yeah.
Dude, that was funny, man. And like it was supposed to be him like, I'm just relaxing.
He
ma-
makes it a show. Yeah, he invites his, I love that Joey Diaz, and they're like cutting up that big bird.
Yeah, dude.
What is that? Lunch.
Motherfucker.
Cocksucker. I love that. That's another dude I would love to see.
I've seen him once. Like he did like 15 minutes at the dude.
Mhm.
Living in LA and like having the comedy store there is like
Boom. Yeah, LA's turned into a scene, and like what they're
Yeah.
gonna try and turn Austin.
I think they're
Little
all
comedy
like,
scene, like
they're
a-
already doing like since Rogan's there. It's like
Well, Segura's there.
yeah, now
Tim
like,
Dillon,
that's
didn't
the
he move
thing.
there
Yeah,
too?
he got a lot of them to move
Dang,
there.
yeah,
So, and we're St. George, Utah is gonna be a scene, bro.
there we go. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
Oh
man.
yeah, well that's like you're saying, dude, we gotta get something going on over at the bar I work at.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's a good vent. Like,
Yeah.
have to come in and check out the space.
Yeah, I've been wanting to, dude. I just get distracted.
Yeah,
But-
life. Yeah.
Yeah, but I've been a buddy of mine. He was telling me that we should, because he went to Michigan for a month. He's like, when I get back, we should like book a show somewhere else. So I was like, oh, dude, my jiu-jitsu coach, he works at the station. We should maybe check that place out. And he's like, oh, okay, let's go check it out. 'Cause,
Yeah.
you know, you never know.
Yeah,
So,
dude.
So yeah, dude.
What's the worst that could happen?
hey,
They
man.
say- They say no. I'm like,
No,
okay.
exactly. Okay.
Like,
I mean, I already like.
they're
set
all,
up-
you need to pay for this beer. You're like, no.
No.
How's that feel? Stings.
You like that?
You know,
Okay.
sting, yeah.
There you go. So
That
so,
story ends with, officer, these cuffs are hurting. Little David Tell right there.
yeah, there you go, man.
Gotcha.
So So to bring it back to you, because
I know. Yeah,
I mean,
sorry. Yeah,
it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. Like, this is a conversation, right? It doesn't matter. So you're you finished like fighting, like you get your loss. Is that you lost and that's you're like, I don't really want to do this anymore.
No, not even. I mean, I did like injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Injuries. I mean, I did that fight with a herniated L5S1.
Oh, dude.
So, I mean, that whole camp, I didn't run a single step because I could really, and I didn't like for that fight. Ace was just like circle, throw that left hand, put him in the cage, take him down.
Okay.
I didn't throw a single kick.
Okay.
I like my kicks. I like to kick. So
Yeah.
like I could feel it bugging me. So it was like, yeah, that injury sucks. So that took 2 surgeries, which like I could have jumped right off the table after that last one. Like it felt so good.
Really?
Yeah. What was weird is like when I heard it, it was a pain down my leg. Like I wouldn't have told you my back hurt, but they can tell you where your injury is on your spine, judging by where the pain is shooting
Oh,
through
wow.
your leg.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of stuff I wish I never knew.
I
wish
you became a doctor through
right,
osmosis.
yeah, I wish I didn't know what a microdiscectomy was or a radio frequency ablation on the facet joint. Like, like be okay without knowing these things.
Yeah.
So, but like, I'm putting all my eggs in the science basket.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know why, but yeah, I'm gonna start juicing HGH in it. And like, let's see what we can get back. So.
Yeah. So that's crazy, dude. Because like one of the crazy things about being an MMA fighter is like if you're not like in the UFC, like you have to pretty much front that all on your own, right?
Oh, 100%. The promoters, they have to go through an athletic commission, and their thing is they have to have insurance for the fighters.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a dark secret of like, hey, you're injured? Wait till fight night. Like, doctor says anything, tell him you're good. You know, like they do the physicals and stuff.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I popped my knee. Like,
Ah.
I can still go. I mean, that's like the whole thing is like if you go into a fight 100%, that means you didn't train
Yeah.
hard. So it's like I can't lift my arm above my head, but we're going. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like that's when all of a sudden like, ooh, this hurt during that
Okay.
one thing. Yeah, right there. So it's like, yeah, they'll cover you then, but yeah, typically, yeah, you get paid half your money to show and half to win.
Really?
I wish they still didn't do that. Oh, UFC does it. Like
Yeah.
that's
That's how they do it.
You're seeing the higher guys be like, this is my flat fee.
Yeah.
You know, and then they'll do like bonuses, like if the promotion makes money. But I mean, the promoters are making a killing.
Yeah, I mean they're
on these
filling up
shows.
those places, right? So.
Right, like they're putting all the money up front. So it's like the real bad thing is like, say you're training.
Mm-hmm.
So normally that means like your diet is dialed in, which also means it's probably going to be pretty pricey, like to get the good stuff. So
yeah,
supplements, food, then you're training. You're something like, you know, you got to pay your gym fees,
Yeah.
and like
and
if you're making good money, your coaches get a percentage of that typically, like their
Yeah.
your managers, whatever.
yeah,
But then like week of the fight, if your opponent turns out like they're dropping off or whatever,
you don't get paid for that.
yeah, you don't get any money.
Jesus, dude.
That it.
It's
When people hear that, I'm like, dude, all these kids come in and they're like, dude, I want to make a living in MMA. I'm like, what living? I'm sure it's kind of like stand-up comedy. I'm
yeah,
like,
it
it's like
takes a while.
You see the 1%ers,
Yeah,
and it was like, you're not, and that's like, I think Conor McGregor is amazing for the sport, but he's kind of
Yeah.
like ruined
yeah,
a couple things where everybody, like, first of all, like Conor is funny.
yeah.
He's been kind of mean lately, but
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah. He's
but
said a few things lately, but dude, he's the greatest shit talker you could ever
it's
imagine.
amazing. Yeah, I
Yes.
love it. Like, I like watching press conferences now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why he's worth so much money, right? Because he brings the people to the seats.
People want to see him. It's just like the all-time great Floyd Mayweather of like probably more people wanted to see him lose.
Yeah,
You know, but they're paying.
But they're
same
paying,
amount,
man, that's right.
So
and Mayweather's so talented too, right? So it's
Yeah.
like boring to watch maybe if you don't appreciate
times, yeah.
the technique of it, right? Because like I enjoy watching his fights. I'm like, look at that footwork. Look at the way he's moving. Look at his shoulder.
rolling
look at
his shoulder.
head.
Yeah, it's, probably the greatest defensive.
Yeah, the greatest
boxer of all
defensive
time.
boxer of all time. Like you can, that's not arguable to me, right?
50-0.
Yeah. Like best fighter of all time, that's arguable, right? But
that's such a crazy argument you can have. Like, who's the greatest?
It's like it's a different time
you
too.
say
right?
Ali, Mom.
Yeah,
yeah. But everything's debatable.
Yeah.
So it's people, they come in and they're like, oh, I'm gonna like quit my job. I'm like, dude, you gotta work, man.
Yeah. You need to pay the bills.
Yeah. So it's those little things like you don't see if somebody doesn't show up for the fight, or I mean, it happens, and especially at this amateur fights, a lot of them, like the promoters don't cover your travel.
Oh, so you're paying for that too?
Yeah, I mean, there's some promoters like, they'll be 4 or 5 hours away, and they'll be like, and then they'll pay like 1 or 2 nights at a hotel. Well, it's like, well, you got to get there day before,
Yeah.
because you got to weigh in the day before. That makes sense. So I was like, yeah. You got 3 days early, and then the night of the fight, you might be a little beat up. You need to stick at the hotel. So it's like, yeah, we get quite a few guys that like cost them a couple $100 to fight.
Yeah.
So again, I'm like, why aren't you getting paid? Like,
Yeah.
go pro, man.
Yeah.
But now it is like, there are more avenues to make money,
Mm-hmm.
a lot more promotions,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so it's awesome. Sport's been growing like crazy.
Yeah, dude. It's everybody knows what. Like, if you say UFC, they know what it is, no matter who you're talking to.
Awesome. Yeah, and that back in the day, it was like, also the great side of that was UFC tickets were like $35.
Yeah.
It was like, used to go down and like, that's why I know the Grand Garden Arena. We used to go there, and it was just like Tito Ortiz against Chuck Liddell won, and it was just like $35. And what's awesome is I got a little lip. Robbie Lawler and Nick Diaz, Nick Diaz and Robbie Lawler fought on that card too.
Really?
Like UFC like 47, I want to say.
Wow, dude, that's
So
a
it's like,
stacked card.
So yeah, right. But they were like, nobody knew who they were. I think that might have been Diaz's first fight, and he knocked out Robbie Lawler. And now they're like rematching in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I saw
so
that the other day, man. I was like, whoa, this is a throwback right there.
100%, yeah, and it's cool that they're still world class. So
yeah,
it'll be awesome. So it's been a fun ride, I guess.
Yeah. When did you meet Ace, dude? Like, how old were you?
Gosh.
Was there a jiu-jitsu like an MMA gym?
No, that was the whole thing. It was one of the times I got back from Brazil, and my friend, I want to say, because I remember seeing a flyer of Ace on there. You know, it's like he has like the most amazing kids program. Like they do karate, but it's not just like
it's a whole
it's
mix.
traditional mixed with wrestling, mixed with jiu-jitsu. Like it makes it fun. Like they do all that fun stuff, and it said jiu-jitsu on there, like fourth thing on the thing, and I was like, there's a jiu-jitsu, because that was the thing. Like there was nowhere here. I was driving down to Las Vegas.
Oh wow, okay.
So I came back from Las Vegas after training, and his school was on the boulevard, on the corner of Main and Boulevard, and it was just a little room,
tiny place
right there. So that's when I first met him. We started talking. I think he just got his blue belt.
Okay. Oh, so he was pretty new at it.
Yeah, just starting. I mean, like, I'm not even sure if he got his blue yet. So I think he did. Yeah, we met. He didn't have an adult class for rolling, and then pretty soon after that, he opened up another gym. Like they closed that one, and he got a bigger place off Riverside Drive.
Yeah,
and he was there for like 12 years.
Okay.
And he was like, it's like, I want to, like, there's nowhere to roll, nothing to do. I know Jake Johnston. I'm not even sure if he was around.
Yeah.
At that time. Well, Jake's so OG. Like he's been rolling forever. Love that guy too.
Yeah.
Like,
he's also a very nice guy too.
Amazing. Yeah. Super nice. So it's like, I don't think Jake was open at the time here, because I was like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, like that's,
you were looking for it all over the place.
Honestly, I mean, the way life works out, I would have gone there first, and then Ace was like, Wednesday nights we'll do like jiu-jitsu night, you know, like I think it was like 8:30 at night, like being pretty late, and I used to wake up at 5, so I was like, sweet. So we did that for a couple months, Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I think I want to get like an MMA team going. So I was the first
Oh,
Fusion.
you were the first guinea pig?
Yeah, with me, a guy named Jeremy from Cedar City, who's about 140 pounds, and then a 280-pound
Oh, big fella.
super athletic Samoan named Sika.
Okay.
Like, I saw Sika over at the college jumping rope like a lightweight,
Oh, wow.
like moving those feet, and he's just like started shadow boxing, and I was like, hey, do you want to come try this out?
Yeah.
And like Sika had a whole career. He moved up to Salt Lake, trained with Jeremy Horn for a long time.
Okay.
Sika's the man. So it's like, yeah, it was like the three of us, and then it's like, man, I would love to know how many people have come and gone like over this like 15 years, because I get it all the time. Like, dude, remember me? I used to train with you. I'm like,
No.
sorry, come back.
Yeah.
So,
That's the thing, right? Like, people stop showing up for something, whatever reason it is, they just don't come back.
for a million reasons, yeah. So it's like somebody feels like somebody was too aggressive with them. So, or, you know, I mean, it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's hard.
it's physical, yeah. Because there's some people who's like, I have guys like, I just don't like really like people touching me. I was like, ugh.
Well, this is not the sport for you, buddy.
And I was like, and that friend Cece like just put that into my head of like, yeah, you exchange more fluids with somebody jiu-jitsu than sex. I was like, yeah.
That's gross.
That's why I ain't rolling with a lot of people. Like, my whole thing is like, dude, it's jiu-jitsu's like life. If you smell bad, I don't want to be around you. So it's like, yeah, let's talk about that. No.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
So, yeah, you out there, wash your geese, wash your ass.
Keep
That
your
was
ass
like-
clean, yeah.
Yeah, people come like, oh, I just came straight from the gym. I'm like,
No.
dude.
Keep it
It was
clean.
like, yeah, I wish I have to have that hygiene talk all the time, you know, or like, you know, somebody wears their gi all week, you know. I was like, dude, that is gross. Like, I personally, I love, like, I clean the mats every night, spray them down, all that stuff, but it's like we haven't really had any like bad breakouts
Yeah.
as far as like
Staff
ringworms,
goes. Yeah.
staph, like all that nasty stuff that's gross.
Yeah.
The most common thing I see, like people getting staph and stuff, is like boxing gloves.
Really?
They don't clean them out. Well, it's just like your hands just in there sweating like
Yeah.
crazy, and like do that like over time. It's
Yeah,
just
it's gonna
like
be
who knows
gross.
what's growing
Yeah.
in there. So tell people to spray out their gloves, but who knows what they do it.
Yeah.
So.
Probably not.
Right? Yeah. See some of these people living their lives.
Yeah,
You
hey,
wonder. But it is like, I swear it's like jiu-jitsu's like 90% rolling, 10% laundry. Like, you're
Yeah,
just
dude, it's
constantly-
crazy,
yeah.
man. It's like every night I wash my gi every single night. I don't have anything else in the washer. But that's what I gotta do. I'm like, this needs to be cleaned. I remember
Going
like,
home and doing.
yeah, you gotta do it, dude. I remember the first week I didn't wash it like for 2 days. I'm like, oh, this is not gonna be sustainable. I had to wash it. I'm like, no, this is gonna be gross. I gotta like, dude. Every time I'm out of there, it's like I just jumped into a pool.
1,000%.
Yeah.
If you did it right.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Oh, and it's like, now it's like, are you at that stage when you get a new gi? It's like the most exciting. You're
Yeah.
like-
It's like you geek out over a freaking piece of clothes, you know? It's like,
I know, I'm so due for a new one. I'm like, they're just starting to fade. I got to get them out.
Yeah.
So. I was like, I got to break in that new black belt, though.
yeah,
So,
dude, you gotta break it in, buddy.
I know. I had that brown belt for 12 years.
Dude, that's a long time to be a brown belt.
Yeah, it was. And a lot of that was like
Injuries, right?
injuries and so of all the time I've been doing it, almost 20 years, I'd say like half of that I wasn't actively training.
Okay.
And even like when I came back and started teaching a lot more, I wasn't really rolling. Like, you know, back was injury,
Yeah.
fat and out of shape. So
Yeah.
it was just like I had that was a big part of like getting going again. And people are like, how'd you lose weight? I'm like, diet and exercise.
Yeah,
like
that's all
what
it
you
is.
like go through. Secrets.
Yeah, right. It's like everybody wants to
and
know.
meth. So I was told there'd be coffee and meth.
Yeah.
I'm okay without the coffee.
Yeah.
We're good.
Oh man. So you started with Ace, and then how long overall did you fight for?
So my first 4 were like in a year. Like it felt like they were just back to back to back.
Oh wow.
Then I took a couple years off and took another fight. I moved down. I had already known Ace, and I moved down to Las Vegas, and I trained at Extreme Couture for a little under, was it a month or two? When Sean Tompkins was there with the IFL. I took another fight, and I just felt beat up, and it was just like, there's no future in this. Like, I've seen those animals, like those guys, and it's like, I remember meeting like Forrest Griffin, and I was like, you fight at 205?
Yeah.
Like, this is like, you're a freaking beast. Like, Vitor Belfort, like, meeting all these guys, and they're like, they're savages. Like,
It's like, and was that your weight class?
170, but my last fight, my loss was at 205.
Oh wow! So oh wow! Okay, so you went up. That's a heavy. That's a big change, dude.
Yeah. Well, French fries are great. This is now a food podcast. So it's like, 2 years ago I got heavy again. I was like at 245, 250.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got 3 months, and like I didn't even cut weight. Like I was dieting so good. I got down to like 203.
Okay.
So, but when I was fighting, I was walking around like 189.
Okay.
And then cutting to 170.
Wow. Okay. That's not a big cut. I mean, I
never, felt like it. That's
I've never cut weight, right? So I don't know what you're going through, but
it's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
Like, you're killing yourself.
Yeah. That's literally right. That's
you're getting all the water
there.
out of you. So, the diet, losing weight, and cutting weight are so different.
Yeah.
Where it's like, again, losing weight is, burning fat, whatever.
Yeah.
Over time, building muscle, whatever. Cutting weight is getting the water out of your system. So like the sauna suits and like, it's miserable.
Yeah,
like,
dude, I've never seen anybody have a good time with that.
I know what. Yeah, I can liken it to like, I now know what it feels like to die in the Sahara Desert. It's like, just water, all you want. Like, death. Just like good times.
Dude, I don't even want to know what that feels
like.
Yeah,
why? Voluntarily.
Yeah, that's the
right.
other part. Like what I think of, like, oh, maybe I should just like what I thought I was like, maybe I should just lose the weight throughout the fight camp, and then I'd be at the weight I want to fight at or something like that. Does anybody ever do that?
Yeah. So you get like guys like Frankie Edgar, who like walked around like 155, 160, and then became like the 155-pound champ.
Okay.
But the most common thing is the whole point is
to get a bigger person.
Yeah, and then rehydrate, which I just never understood. Like, your brain floats in
water,
liquid, so you're like taking that out. How much can you rehydrate? I mean, they used to, like, as soon as guys weighed in, they would get IVs, like potassium and like all that good stuff. So it was like they outlawed that because they're putting other things in it. So so
of course,
well, everybody's always looking for an edge. Like, you got friggin' TJ Dillashaw just came back after he's been doing EPO.
Yeah.
So it's like producing more red blood cells that can like carry more oxygen, all that good stuff. Like, that's the reason behind it. But what's dangerous with those things too is like blood thinners is like, if you get cut, it might not coagulate that well, and you can keep going. So the big dark secret used to be, it was when I trained down in Vegas, Viagra.
Really?
Yeah.
What does that
Small
do?
doses of Viagra open up blood vessels, more circulation, stuff like that. Yeah. But I was like, aren't you worried it might work too well while you're in the fight? Yeah.
Your dick's going in like this all over the place.
He tapped out from Mount. He's taking his back. He's running away. That's
funny, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's like in every sport at every level, especially when it's so cutthroat and it's like, literally, like there was a lady, Cheyenne Buys, just fought in Vegas, and it's like she won a bonus, $50,000 bonus, and it was like, dude, she like could get a house now. Like, she had nowhere to go. Like, these people are making such big sacrifices, and like sleeping on couches, living all over, and it was just like they want it. So that was the whole thing too. Of like, I never wanted to.
You
be
didn't
like,
want it.
I had to go through that shit. It's like it's rough, man. And like, again, getting to train with like world-class people, you're like, oh, like,
that's not me.
I'm good. I'm not great. So I was like, and again, that was the thing I took the most away from training in Brazil is you're like going with a kid who's probably like doesn't know where he's gonna eat that night.
Yeah.
You know, or like where they're gonna sleep. And like a lot of them would like sleep in the gym.
Yeah.
You know, and it was like they want it, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Can you get us fights in America?" And I was like, so it's like, yeah, I had compete like that when I'm like, oh, I set my alarm for 5. I was like,
Yeah, it's a whole
it's
different
hard.
story, right? So
like I had to throw so many groceries out that I didn't even eat. Like, wasteful. So yeah, it's like you see other people's upbringing and like their goals or like that type of thing, and I was just like,
Not
I got like I like my security, like
Yeah.
my finance,
Yeah.
like that type of thing.
I'm doing
so,
all right.
right, and let's keep it that way.
Yeah.
So I was like, go to school. So I was like, which I didn't see through. So like an associate's from Dixie. So, or is they gonna change?
I don't
that
know
name?
what the name is now, dude. It's like, it's the whole thing. I don't know.
It's like,
Eh,
yeah, just silence for the next 5 minutes. Just like loud.
it's just okay.
Yeah.
Wow, dude. So, how old were you when you retired?
Shit, I gotta go do that right now. I forgot. I gotta go put my gloves. Honestly, I want to get one, at least one more in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to get another one. What? I'm just blanking right now.
No worries.
but-
Well, it's like because my last fight was my first loss.
Yeah.
And that
So you want
bugs
to
me.
redeem yourself?
Well, and it's like it doesn't bug me that I lost. It's that I didn't
Well, you were
give my
injured, right?
100%.
Yeah,
You know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, that's an excuse. And those are all great, but it's like, yeah, it's just like doesn't sit well. With
Yeah, I
like,
can imagine. Dude.
like, I can do better. I don't care if I lose.
Yeah.
I was like, as long as I don't go out and like get knocked out in 3 seconds, we're
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. I'm back, baby. Boom. And I'm done.
Yeah. It's over.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't want to have somebody tell me it's.
Yeah, you want to be the one saying like, okay, I'm done. That's good.
Yeah, but like it's just like a little like nice feeling to like just even think like
Yeah.
I can get one more in. Yeah,
Yeah,
go
yeah.
one
I mean,
more. So.
You're still young enough to be able to do it. So.
Well, in this sport, yeah, there's, I mean, damn, Randy Couture, right? Again, well, Mickey Mantle jeans right there.
yeah, dude,
Right.
he's
So he's like 45,
he's a
defending his
he's
title.
a
Yeah.
mutant, man. So.
Yeah,
Just-
but you see the hard work he puts in and everything, and like it shows.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of these people just like they just want to get on Instagram, like have a picture of like my hands wrapped and like
Yeah.
hitting the
They
bag.
just look cool. It's like the people that want to pretend to be veterans, which is like.
Man, you hear so much, and look, thank God for the internet now, because
Yeah,
it's like,
'cause it just-
what's your name? Who are you?
Yeah.
It's
Just
like-
call it out.
oh man, I
immediately.
knew so many black belts when I first started.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Just ask them; they'll tell you.
Why?
Yeah, they're-
This is the part I don't understand. Like, why would you lie about something like that? They're gonna test it out, right? Like,
no, those tend to be the ones who don't come in, or it's like, you beat them out in public, and they're like, "Oh, dude, I used to do that. I used to fight. Yeah." And I was like, I'm just a street fighter. I only got like 200 no. I was like, oh, cool. You're the guy. All right.
yeah, that's you, huh? Okay.
Come on in, dude. Yeah. It's no egos.
Yeah,
right through.
Dude, jiu-jitsu is such an ego, like,
Can be a
squasher,
crusher.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like if you have a huge ego and you want to do jiu-jitsu constantly, you're gonna have to do like work on something there, buddy. But because like
100%.
it's so hard to like actually be there. Like every time, like I get tapped so many times. Like some days I don't get tapped. I did get tapped, but
Level up.
yeah. So, but just the fact that you have to swallow that all the time, like if
Oh,
you,
100%.
it's something that if you're that type of person, I don't think you're gonna be able to like get past. I mean, that's why they don't come back, right?
Right. Yeah. Or then they go tell people, like, yeah, I just didn't like it, or
Yeah.
they weren't that good.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. I was like, and St. George is such a small town, too. I mean,
Mhm.
there are a couple more options, actually, gym-wise now
Mm-hmm.
out here. So it's like, it's like, number one thing is, like, we want you to, like, feel welcome and, like, it's a good fit.
Yeah.
I mean, not everybody's personality is always going to mesh. So
Yeah.
it's like, hopefully, like, you can find that if it's
Mhm.
not with us, but
Yeah.
it tends to be with us. Like,
yeah. I mean, dude, you're all so nice though. Like, how hard is it to like not fit in there, you know? Like it's like
Right? Yeah. It takes a special type of person.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a lot of it too is like customer service, like
Yeah.
big smile, hi dude,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
So and it's like, I that whole like break them down to build them up. I always forget that second part. I just keep
just break them
like,
down.
oh shit, I gotta turn that around. Sorry. Like, we have smashed through the foundation and we're going dark. So it's just it's also like, I mean, how many people have you met from the gym? And it's like, consider friends now.
Dude, it's crazy. Like, there's so many that you like meet, and then like you get along with just by look, like, you know, when you're there, and then others like, dude, I have like a lot of people like I get along with it, and it's like, oh, dude, you're my buddy. We're buddies just because like we do this, and then it's suddenly like, I don't know a number, but it's like like at least 10 people. I'm like, dude, we're good buddies. Like if I see you around, I'm just gonna go talk to you for like a half hour, and we're just gonna shoot the shit, you know, and like gonna have a great time. And like I don't have that bond with that many people. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
So,
it's like, like I said, it's a small, like we always jokingly say Fusion family, and then when there are people like who create problems at the gym, like it really gets to me.
Yeah.
We won't go into that.
Yeah, let's keep that for later.
So it's just, I take it more personal because of that whole aspect.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like, if somebody's like saying derogatory things about one of our guys, you know, like that type of thing, I'm like, hey, no. Not cool, bro. Not cool.
Not cool, man. Dude, you've been with them for 15 years, right?
Jeez, it might even be longer than that, man.
Yeah.
I was like, try not to think about it. It gets me depressed. I'm like, what? I'm 24 now. I'm like, so it's probably closer to like 16.
Okay.
Is what I would say. Because, I was in my early 20s the first time I met Ace. But then again, like that first year or so, it was like once a week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then like with our fight team, it was either like I had the big guy or the small guy.
Yeah, that was
either did really
options.
Good or
really bad.
So it was like fun times, and the school's grown so much, and like so many people have come and gone that still like keep in touch, and like it's awesome. Like you really do build like a real close bond with people. Yeah. By strangling each other.
Yeah, dude, it's the weirdest thing, man. The weirdest thing. You just almost killed me, and we get along great.
And high five, Knuckles. Good work, man. Good job. Yeah. Almost went out right there. Good work. It almost went over. Like, I'm done.
I'm done, man. It's time to go.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a good way to go out, right?
Speaking of going out, dude, so what's your Instagram?
It's my last name, Pincus, Pincus, .Aaron, first name.
Okay, so follow him on Instagram. Anything you would like to, like, you know, shout out or like,
come check out Fusion MMA. Like, come try it out for free. If you're in St. George, love to have you. We're always having fun.
Yeah, it'd be a great
time. Go
see
Hal. Go do some stand-up, buddy.
Thanks, man. Thanks for coming on, dude. It was such a great time
this was
talking
a blast,
to you.
Dude.
Thanks,
because we short talk a little bit, you know. This is nice to like get to know.
Yeah, dude. It's because like it's always like 5 minutes or something like that.
Yeah. It's like a couple zingers and I'm on.
And then it's over.
Good.
All right, thanks for coming on, dude.
Appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, appreciate
Thank
you,
you,
too,
dude.
Man.
Oh my. Hi, I didn't see you there, but you know, since I got you here, let me ask you a couple questions. Would you like to support this podcast? If that's a yes, then I have another question for you. Do you like stand-up comedy? Have you been thinking about it for a while? Why haven't you done it? Is it because of fear? Are you doubting yourself? Is that what it is? What if I told you that we can turn those fears into action and we can get some results, right? So, look, if you want to have fun, if you want to do stand-up comedy, if you just want to challenge yourself, if you're a business person, it's great to know how to speak in public because you have to do it constantly. And by doing stand-up comedy, you'll be doing it all the time, especially because it's a lot harder to make people laugh than it is to just talk in public. So if you like doing that, and if you want to have fun, how about you go to the link that's below? It's right here. linktr.ee/khalu2. Linktree/Khalu2. And if you go to that link, click on the stand-up comedy course for beginners, and you can buy that course over there, and we'll all have a grand old time. You have fun learning how to do stand-up. I have fun being with you. It's all fun and games over here. So what do you say? You want to join me? I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Well, hello there, my good friend. How are you? I hope you're doing swell on this fine day. You know, there was one time where I enjoyed someone's video, and I didn't know how to get the next one. So I thought to myself, oh, what if I subscribe to their video? What a novel thought. If you enjoyed this video, would you please like it? Subscribe to the channel. That way, anytime a new video comes up, you'll get the next notification. You know when it comes up. It will be swell. And if you enjoyed it a lot, share it with your friends. That's all I'm saying. Only if you enjoyed it a lot. If you didn't enjoy it that much, just keep it to yourself, you know? Just keep it to yourself. All right. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.